We are back here on Carolina Women with our friend Amy Bowman from State Farm. 'Tis the season to talk about being prepared for weather.
Yes.
And it's already upon us with Beryl and some of the other hurricanes or big storms that are coming up. And I guess I feel like you do. I'd rather be proactive and prepared than have to punt and react to something. So from an insurance point of view, or just a practical point of view of things I can do and be a good steward of my home, what are you recommending?
Yeah. Well, and I will tell you, 'tis the season is exactly right. And so at this point, it's not just about looking at your insurance policies and where we are, but just from a household standpoint,
Okay.
you know, evacuation. If something's going to happen and I've got to leave my home, do I have accommodations for my pets? Do I have medications filled? Do I have important documents, Ziploc sealed, ready to come with me? Do I have emergency supplies? Those are the things to start thinking about now before our season starts getting really active.
I think you should put together a little booklet and sell it. I think that would be, really, I do. It'd be like check, check, check. I love that. Okay.
We do have a checklist.
Oh, do you have a checklist?
We do have a checklist
Okay.
that's helpful for that. I think the other thing too is just staying abreast of, you know, we kind of teased about banning ourselves from the Weather Channel, but just kind of staying abreast of what's happening, you know, staying in tune. June 1st to the end of November is our hurricane season, and though we cannot predict the weather, our season here in the Lowcountry really starts to get active the latter part of August into September. Okay, we had Hurricane Matthew arrive in October of 2016. We had Irma come in September of 2017. Yep. So just be cognizant and be prepared before that time frame arrives.
What can I do from an I don't know if it's insurance point of view. I guess, again, it's just protecting myself. What do I take? Does video help? How can I document things?
Yep.
What's helpful for you?
So helpful for us, helpful for the claims division is have a video, write down serial numbers, you know, electronics, things like that, very helpful. You know, there are lookup tools now that can kind of help with replacement cost on if we know the make and model of something, the serial number, then that can be helpful. The other thing too is just make sure you can have your policies with you. If you know where they are, have accessibility to that. Most carriers, State Farm certainly, you can now file claims online. All right. So as long if you are able to have download your insurance carrier's app, make sure that you are digitally enabled where you can go in and communicate that way. A lot of times reporting that claim may be faster, especially if power's out and you're evacuated somewhere else, that you still have the ability to be able to, we know there's known damage, to be able to report that.
I think what you've said so far that is the takeaway for today already is serial number, something I had not thought about. And then what about things like furniture? I mean, you're not going to evacuate with furniture. Artwork was something that was always a challenge. Do I take my artwork and does it have value?
Well, again, photographing them, detailing them, talking to your agent. You know, once we're in storm season, sometimes it may be a little too late, but after the season ends, this is the opportunity to say, do I need to schedule that piece of artwork on a separate policy? So I know that it's covered no matter what. Okay, so particularly with jewelry and other things, there are things you can put on riders that can specifically cover items like that.
Do people ever question, it would be like my husband and I driving together, we have two cars, but I don't want to take two cars, I don't want to be separated. What do you recommend with that? Do you leave a car and how does that work? Or do you recommend going ahead during evacuation, taking two cars to wherever you're evacuating?
That's really a personal decision, but just know that what's going to cover a vehicle in weather-related damage is comprehensive coverage. Okay, so if you have a vehicle that does not have comprehensive coverage, if that vehicle is left, just know that that is not going to be a covered peril.
Is it the wind, the rain? What is it that is really the biggest culprit when it comes to these storms?
Every storm is different, but you can, you know, Hurricane Andrew was wind-driven. Hurricane Floyd was water driven. And
Okay.
just know that flood is specifically excluded under your homeowner's policy.
Ah,
So that may be great for another time for us to kind of delve deeper into the flood aspect.
then let's do this. We're going to take a break, and on our next segment, next time we talk to you, we're going to talk a bit about flood, because I think that really is important. As always, Amy, it is great to see you. Stay with us. There's more to come on
All right.
Carolina Women.